Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 11:34 a.m. on the 22nd of December 2023. I haven't done any vlogs of my vocal media and Facebook archival readings of my journaling for a few days. Haven't had much sleep the last couple of nights and lots of bladder issues, and so frankly I'm a bit drained and wrung out, but I felt inspired to at least do today's one. It's a very humid, cloudy, showery sort of day, but it's a little bit cooler than it has been, so I thought seize the day and take advantage of the cooler temperature to achieve something today, my darlings. Achieve something today. So we continue on with the readings. Today's is titled Romanian Rape Threats and Sublime Survival. That neighbour died in 2018, complete with mad artistry and happiness. Survival and thrival equals happiness, darlings. Who knew? Here is a photo of my Petit Point tapestry that is now sewn onto my crazy skirt I made with all little doilies and embroideries, which foolishly I sewed onto its Swiss voile, so all the fabric is tearing apart because it was actually quite old already. So I'm going to have to probably remake it somehow or hide all the holes right with more embroideries. Oi. But I wore it to the West End drumming circle this last Sunday, and my friend, a woman friend who's also happens to be Romanian, really loved it. Said it reminded her of her grandmother's embroideries, and which of course is my intent because it's all my European background coming out. My love embroidered garments and gypsy shawls, and I love handmade, hand-created artistry, especially Hungarian blouses, which are also, I cut up an old Hungarian blouse that I had when I was a young girl that doesn't fit me and hasn't fitted me for 40 years. But I didn't want to, waste the lovely embroideries, so I cut them up and sewed them onto the skirt too. So it's a bit unusual and crazy, but I'm preserving all the artistry that I've gathered over many decades for as long as I can. Here I write, my grimoire got a few hours of sunlight today sitting on my desk next to the window. This is 2021. So now it has a lovely glow in the dark effect. And the photo on there is pretty shitty, so I'll show you the real thing. The real thing that I decorated up by inlaying the mother of pearl butterfly and digging out the carvings and putting glow in the dark paint and glow in the dark resin in it. And I think I showed it to you the other day, but I'm proud of my little achievements, Very proud of my little artistic little achievements. It doesn't mean anything to anyone else in the grand scheme of things, but I look around my home and now I have all these things that I have created, so it's my energy and my flavour and amongst my inherited mother's antique furniture, right? That everything pertaining to my mother kind of has a darkness attached to it, but the pieces I have kept are lovely pieces, and I fought hard in that war dispute to even have my mother's chattels. So although there is a sadness and a darkness attached to them in a way, I've lightened it up by adding my own my own energy with my own hand created objects to things. Last night I also sewed this Petit Point tapestry that I made when I was 16 years old. It has laid around for 40 years. My mother never bothered to frame it. She had insisted I make it for her as a gift, then in true Nakopath style, did not even value it. It came back to me after her death. I found it lying around in my stash of doilies, etc., so now it is incorporated into my skirt. Waste not, want not, and I will wear it with pride. All my hard work, even from 4 decades ago, is finally being cherished, even if it is only by my own self. It's a scathing hot day, so I decided to paint some more resin on my unfinished cases. I'm starting to get excited as the one on the right is now finished and the one on the left just needs the outside to do. So close to completion after laying on my floor for 1.5 years. I also tried making cast resin skulls and hearts with crushed up PowerShell scraps I had left over from carving inlays. I hope they turn out great. I added purple glitter as well. And here we have it, one of the little skulls I turned into little draw knobs. Here's another one. He's all a bit squiff. And there's one of the little hearts. There. December 22nd, 2019, 3:46 a.m. Home from a beautiful night spent dancing for a Viking pirate, complete with pirate hat decorated with silver cutlery. I wished I had my purple top hat on. We would have looked like soulkin together. I could almost fall in love, says she, whom only a few days ago wrote that I must never fall in love again because it invariably gets dangerous for me when I do. But he was pure magic, an excellent singer and guitarist. Also, there is nothing wrong with being in love. And, there is nothing wrong with being in love with life and random strangers in the night, that you just have light-hearted fun dancing and singing with them. Then go home to my dog and cats and bird, because their love is universal and completely devoted and true. Paulie and I bonded over weed and Odin. He was so sweet and a gentleman. He said, "I am very sensitive." I quipped, "Yes, I see that in you. You are an artist, and that often comes with a sensitive nature." I joked, "You used to be a showgirl, but now you are an artiste." He laughed good-naturedly at my gender-bending humour. I sensed he was married or in a relationship, and my other streety friend, Matthew, got a tad hysterical because he could see there was a certain frisson between me and Paulie. But I was just celebrating my life, and I was being witnessed and admired with no heavy sexual agendas, and it was kismet and beautiful and actually quite healing. Wherever you are, Paulie, we never ran into each other again, but you were a delight in my night, sweetheart that you are. I danced to his music for several hours because I got bored at the casino and left early to find this magic man awaiting me. He had dreadlocks too. Matthew said, "Stay with us. You will love this guy's singing." I had gotten my customary pie and ginger beer at the 7-Eleven. So I did, and I loved it so much I stayed much longer than I anticipated. And you know what? I was an idiot. I decided he was married or in a relationship. He might not have been. I could have actually started something wonderful with him. But I was all strung out in those days over Dave, like a dickhead that I truly am. My goodness, the men that I let slip by me because I was looking at the wrong one who had no heart and feeling, no heart, soul or feelings for me at all. Oh, it was awful. It really was. Must not do that again. Get fixated on some man that's cold and dark and evil and malevolent. I deserve a beautiful man like Paulie, although he did hoover the weed a bit. So I don't really want someone that hoovers weed 24/7 because I had one like that before with the Courtmeister. But anyway, we had a lovely evening together and he was lovely to me, Paulie and I. Paulie admired my Jewish tattoo. He thought it was the tree of life. I said, "No, burning bush, darling." He had tattoos of cannabis leaves and the chemical symbols for THC and CBD. He said he used to be a good Catholic lad. Speaks volumes, that, darling, that with the addiction. Hello, lovely man like me, though. You can always tell a fellow survivor because we're just lovely and we deserve only the very best. He said he used to be a good Catholic lad, but now he worships Odin, the All-Father. He mentioned that many modern-day Vikings are white supremacists, and he hated that. Me too. It wasn't like that back in Viking days. Really wasn't like that. Now what have I done? I've lost my mouse. Where is my mouse? I've lost the whole page now. Here's my mouse. Oops. Little mouse ran away on itself. It's because we're talking about Odin. It's all right, All-Father. I know you're watching. Always watching. Always protecting this little one. Look at the beautiful, kind souls you bring to me in the night when I was actually feeling peevish. If I left the casino early, I was feeling off. There would have been some unpleasantness that I was not quite incorporating into my worldview. So, Paulie was indeed a gift in the night. A great gift. I shared with him my story about my ex-boyfriend getting his scumbag mate to threaten me with a samurai sword, and when I was not fazed by that, I could get the sword before he did, as I was sober. He then threatened me with one of their neo-Nazi friends, who rather mysteriously was madly in love with this Jewish heathen woman. So my ex and his friend had egg on their faces, as that particular guy would never hurt me. Then we laughed at the horror and the absurdity of it. They thought they were going to threaten me with the most dangerous neo-Nazi they knew, and I said, "No, but Noel loves this little Jewish witch." And they just sat there. Even Courtney went, he does. And honestly, what did I do to deserve that? Nothing. show up, stay in my own light, my own mana, my own integrity, as I often do. Paulie asked, why did they do that? Meaning, why did they threaten me? I replied, I have no idea, but they obviously wanted to get rid of me, so threatening me with neo-Nazis was the perfect way to do it. Cunts. I said, but I have had some very weird and powerful friends in all sorts of walks of life, and am heavily protected. He said there is a political group that believes in status over money or assets. I smiled wanly, said, I must still be high status then in some quarters, and smiled. Oh, you are. You truly are. I told him the story about Gila telling me when I left my husband that I had now lost all my high status, and how upset and furious that made me. He said, I think you are very high status indeed. I replied, of course, I'm a Jewish, Viking, warrior, goddess, queen, which sounds mad, but there it is for all to see, my madness. He laughed. He asked me what I do. I said, stay alive and party whenever I can. How do you support that lifestyle? Pain seared over my face like I had been burnt. Disability pension, trauma issues. He nodded, seemed a bit disappointed. But yes, even in my poverty and marginalisation, I am still a high status woman. Suck on that, Gila of the flashing vagina on Today Tonight in 2008. Karma got you good for your disgraceful abuses towards me and mine. I am a tad disappointed Paulie is not available, as he was intelligent, articulate, talented, nice-looking, and a gentleman. Matthew said, damn, I have lost you to a musician, which is kind of weird because I was never with Matthew. Matthew had a little bit of an obsession going, I think. I grinned impishly and berated him about being too in love with me, as I am so accustomed to aloof drama, cruel, sadistic, unavailable men that anyone too keen on me utterly terrifies me. Paulie laughed uproariously. I gave him a wink. Matthew had tried to kiss me, so I was rather irritated by that. But we still danced together later on, 'cause he is a nice man actually. Just gets a little too carried away when I turn up at the end of my nights of dancing. Paulie watched me stoically hold my space until I felt more at ease. I should go look for that Paulie, shouldn't I? He said he busks in the valleys somewhere, but I don't know. This was years ago, people. And anyway, I must remember he wasn't available then. He's probably not available now. Sometimes you just have these beautiful encounters with people, and they're just, even now, it just delights me. When I finally tore myself away, aware that it was getting very late and Bobo needs to be let out to pee, I thanked him for his entertainment and told him he is magical and awesome. He thanked me for being a good street person and for joining in with the fun. We had a brief hug. Aww. He reminded me to stay safe on my way home. I replied, I am safe. It starts with mindset, and smiled and went on my way. Then I went to see George for a short while and stayed for a few songs with him. Loyalty. Then hobbled home. Just wow. George was and is my busker friend that busks outside the Elizabeth Street entrance to the casino for many years. We had a long friendship, and sometimes he could be a bit mean to me when he wasn't well, but overall we had a long friendship. But I haven't gone back there since I left on the 5th of August, because fuck that toxic, vicious space. It was awful how I was treated, when my doggy died especially. I just said when my doggy died, and this van just went by and said Mad Dogs and Englishmen. That's why I was frowning. I was like, that's odd. And I had to read the signage a bit more. They're a dog walking company. What a brilliant name for a dog walking company, Mad Dogs and Englishmen. So clearly whoever runs that business is an Englishman. Avoid, 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 avoid. Englishmen seem to find me very desirable, but they always bail on me or get weird, or it's just, I don't know, it must be a cultural thing. Can't handle this Viking queen. She smiles radiantly with a certain bit of amusement and a twinkle in my eye. I have had some lovely masculine interests lately. Nothing threatening or creepy, except for Clary's creepy offer. 2 different people told me Dave was at the casino early. Weird, but not my monkey, not my circus. See, speaking of Englishmen, synchronicity, flickering all the time. The man who really wants to be my partner won't play bullshit, avoidant games, or ignore me, or use and abuse me. I am starting to meet the most loving, kind, honourable men at last. I wasn't joking when, a few weeks ago, I told that nice Aboriginal man who offered me a romantic dinner, which I politely declined, that he had brought me luck. Oh, thinking about it, I met this, he was far too young for me, lovely young Aboriginal man at the casino in May. And since meeting him, we actually danced together all night long, but I told him that I wouldn't be going home with him because he was too young, he could be my son. But we had a lovely evening together. He brought me luck too, because after my dog died on 1st of August, my love life has kind of exploded. I've had so much lovely attention from men, like more than I've had since 2019, for 4 years. It's just all started to blossom out. It's actually been quite delightful, but a tad astonishing because it just came out of nowhere, you know. It's been magical. It's been lovely, but I still haven't found the one. And the one that I really am quite keen on and would be the perfect man for me is not available. So there is that. And the other one that I was seriously considering starting something lovely with headed for the hills. So he obviously, decided I wasn't, I wasn't of interest to him anymore. And so there I am, spiraling, trying to figure out who really loves me, right? So it's been an interesting few weeks. Very interesting few weeks. There is so much love in the world, just pouring to me exponentially. The right one will claim me without making me feel threatened or smothered. Will I recognise him when I meet him? Meaning, will I recognise his energy and his heartfelt intentions towards me and, his true loving sweetness? Will I even know when it's real or not? Because I've been played so many times, people. So many fucking times. It's times like these that I am reminded of the Threepenny Opera by Bertolt Brecht, and how my daughter played Polly Peachum, the Queen of the Beggars, and how my ex Courtney stole a poster from the show for me, and he cried with real emotion as he understood the play as a commentary on status in the criminal world and underclasses. He had always said he was head cockroach of his cockroach pile. I reminded him that being a chief of verminous people who would cheerfully knife you in the back or front is no fucking honour at all. Perhaps that's why, only a year later, I was expunged from his seedy, inadequate, acopic, abusive world. But the Tanya is up-levelling. No more rescuing heroin-addicted daughters of friends in the night. No more threats from wannabe henchmen. No transactional relationships based on car fixing and stooping bi-weekly. Frankly, I would rather masturbate for the rest of my life than be with another false, abusive partner. I love my life now. But I will show you that one kindness that Courtney did for me, and got very emotional when he'd never been to a play before. He was actually an intelligent man who was forever playing dumb with his little verminous cockroach pile, right? They all looked up to him because they could see he had a certain charisma, did the courtmeister. He wasn't completely dumb. That he understood the play meant a lot to me, because I realised he wasn't a complete fucking idiot after all. But then he was, because he threw me away like garbage in the most awful, ignoble, abusive way. And even though he had a certain intelligence and understanding, that he understood that play, he still was not of my calibre, darlings. I need a real man with real heart and real soul and corazon and cojones to be with me, babies. Not men that get their neo-Nazi friends to threaten me with samurai swords, for example, and brass knuckle dusters, and have no fucking couth at all. But anyway, that was 13 years ago, and I've up-levelled since then. I still haven't found a partner, and I'm okay with that. I'm not settling for low-grade scum ever again. Ever again. I'm not that desperate, and I'm not that lonely. And I have beautiful men in my life who do value and appreciate me. And that is enough. That is enough for me. Here's my beautiful Beauregard with his amazing smile. And he was the man in my life for 7 years and 8 months. My little man. Here's the top of that photograph. You can see me with my Viking beads in my hair, looking tired but happy with my little dog. I might do my Viking beads again for tonight. Let's zhuzh ourselves up, darlings. Feeling much loved. So what year was this? Oh, it was still 2019. Feeling much loved and nurtured after my night out by someone holy who I can see is pushing me into the potential of a future with a loving life partner. By someone holy, I meant Odin or Yahweh or whoever's running the cosmos at this moment in time. After meeting that magical, delightful, eccentric, Viking busker man, I realise he was a way shower sent from Odin himself, the wise All-Father. And let's face it, people, I have a deeply painful and triggering, complicated relationship with fathers in general and the patriarchy. Even the masculine attributes of Adonai, Yahweh, often leave me feeling rather betrayed. Oh yes, babies. But yes, my Odin, my Adonai, knows that Christmas is an unholy trigger for me amongst a constant flow of unholy triggers. So they, reached out to me from the void of the avoidant, the paranoid, the rejected, abandoned, misforgotten, but never to be forgotten, Tanya, knowing how much I still miss that unfulfilled, unrequited love affair with Blech Dave. He sends me a messenger with flair and intellect and anarchy, loved the pirate hat, to remind me that I am still desirable. Yes, Desiree, je suis désolée, but when, that means I'm sorry, but when you chose to incarnate in this female form, you bit off more than you could chew, my love. But how marvellously I have incorporated and nurtured my inner child. Can't stand banging doors. My broken but eternally optimistic and loving little girl, and also my inner man who fiercely protects me from any further heartache, or tries to. The daddy I never had that lets me out to play in the world, knowing that I have my own back and front, and that I can hold my own in any company. There were quite a few men that trawled up George Street to listen to the new busker and to flirt with me. One man came and stood close to me, uncomfortably close. But he was happy and I was happy, and it's the season of betrayal and loss and oppression that we dress up like paper fucking dollies and honour our various gods. But this Jewish Viking woman only honours victory over that oppression, because, you know, it was why I was born, from ancient bloodletting to ancient bloody sexual primacy. Anyway, he turns to me lovingly and a bit drunkenly and says, "So what's your story?" Paulie keeps playing, watching me with some fascination. I had already shared my story with him. One of my worst trauma stories about my ex-boyfriend and his gronking, useless, foul, neo-Nazi friends. Rolls eyes. Why? Queen of sabotage, my hearties, and also the spirit moved me, and also all my stories are trauma stories which I have had to rise above and look at in the open, bright light without shame as really, what the fuck? But my heart and mind and spirit goes on, and I thrive by staying true to my glorious truth and psychosexual ineptitude and brilliant attitude. N'est-ce pas? That's French for innate. So I turn. I need a moment. So I turn to the too closely standing to me man who was craving sex and intimacy, and like an ice-cold shower I said, "My story." I do not often share my story with strange men in the night, and smirked. So he says, "Oh," and slinks away into the night. Paulie looks deep into my eyes. Bear in mind we were both a little stoned at this point. I stare deeply back into his. From across the 6-foot safety zone between us, he understands now that he has evoked a rare privilege from me in eking out any of my stories. Laughing my ass off. But we were both a little high, and I was a little in love with my magical messenger. Wherever ye be, Paulie. No harm, no foul. Oh, you have to laugh. I have to laugh at myself. This is why I'm eternally single, right? Because I consistently fuck it up when I have a gorgeous man. I don't know what to do with them. I mean, apart from the obvious, I really don't know what to do with them. The pirate and the princess of misfortune. I openly admitted that I have not been lucky in love. Get to play and pray and perhaps parlay another day. By Odin, a strange matchmaker. But my Jewish God, my beloved one, brought me only homicidal maniacs and decades of trauma. I wonder if Odin can bless me with someone true and loyal and magical and beautiful this time. I just had a flashback of Dave shivering with excitement in my presence, with naked lust and primordial fear of my spirit and womanliness. Nay, I must walk this world alone. Too many fear my power, and I am not ready to ever cede my hard-won gifts yet. Maybe, come on, mouse. Maybe that is why I envisioned Lilith recently. She wants me to use my feminine power to bring the right man to me with harm to none. Temptress, divinely wild feminine, be gentle with your little one. I am barely held together. I cannot sustain any more heartache, debasement, or trauma. Perhaps she is testing my heart. She knows it is still, after everything, a strong and unique and pure one. She tells me, Tanya, you are captain of your own ship now, my love. Sails fully set, billowing and straining against the wind, prow sporting a sensuous, naked siren, facing into the new dawn or glorious sunset. The gods have your back. Even I, Lilith, who finds you so prudish and mortified, know you are a you are a fiercely passionate, wild woman who needs a good man who won't dare attempt to break you, or in the words of a certain mischievous Ojibwa medicine man, tame you. A little push and you are free. These men, my goddess, these men need to lift their game and make a firm choice and let me know their true heart. Yes, my little, sweet little one, for it is not for you to doubt me. Humans are such fickle but intricate golems. They think they are exercising free will, but we all know real, juicy, authentic love and passion is madder than batshit and twice as stupid. I hear you. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is one, or would be if we could just pull ourselves together in unity. Laughter in the Sephirot. You smell like latkes. Not the look I was going for. Stale oil mixed with sweat from labouring over a frying pan. I guess this means I am not Jewish anymore. The Germans call them Kartoffelpuffers. We eat them with cinnamon and apple sauce. So Kartoffelpuffers, or in Yiddish latkes, are potato pancakes, grated potato with onion that you fry in oil, and you put applesauce or cinnamon on them, and they're delicious, and they're soul food for Hanukkah. So this meme that says, you smell like latkes, is a bit of a Jewish joke about domesticity and Heimish traditions, right? Here's a photo of one of my visiting birdies that comes to see me on occasion. Where is she? There. Pale-headed Eastern Rosella. (22nd of December 2018). Yesterday and last night was so powerful and beautiful. I have had just under 4 hours sleep after rocking out valiantly with a sore thigh. The nerve pain I experienced last January was back, and an angry scratch on my right foot whilst teetering on 6-inch high sandals, and when Crush played Zombie, I moshed wildly with my beautiful Terry and completely forgot about my sore neck from moving furniture as well. Who am I? Completely wild, and I love it. I had such a fantastic time. The magic was really happening in a far out way. Happiness is so empowering and, of course, contagious. I am honoured by and grateful to the gods. 22nd of December 2017. I just gave Beauregard a bath and managed to clip most of his nails. He was distracted by the tap running and water falling over him and the sound of the washing machine. He did try to bite me when I clipped one of his claws, then realised it didn't hurt, so behaved, albeit a bit fractiously, after that. It is such a relief to be able to clip his nails. I really did not want to have him sedated by a vet every time. Also, it is hugely expensive, and I feared he might die under the anaesthetic. I have had enough monstrous, incompetent, sadistic veterinarians kill my beloved pets over the years, not counting the ones that genuinely needed euthanizing due to old age. I was severely triggered when I took Bobo to be desexed. I was looking into his eyes, begging him to come home safely to me. I ate my own liver all day until they called me to collect him. So this is progress. Clean dog, tidier nails, Mama T all glammed up yesterday as Kylie did my hair and spruced up my eyebrows. We are doing well. Bobo and Mama T hanging around waiting for Crystal to come home in 12 days. Will she come see us? Will we reconcile? Will I be abandoned, rejected, abused? No. What else is new? In the meantime, I have a big, big, big love roiling inside me. Happiness, with or without my beloved. True love always finds me, like an octopus on my face, although not as grabby, stinky, and slimy. Here's my little man, my beautiful little man I dearly miss. Look at him. Portugal, the man, feel it still. I've had this song interrupting my sleep since 7 a.m. Ha ha, thanks angels. No rest for the sublimely, wickedly, beatifically broken-hearted. But the Tanya rises again. Move over, my foes. I'm coming. Insomniac made a meme. 22nd of December 2016. Humid as fuck. Drinking tea, standing in my kitchen, sweating out my chi. Julie Goddard replied, I'm naked, it's so fecking hot. Me. I had a cold shower, dressed, went out to buy the chooks and cat food, felt hazy in the head from heat and tooth pain. Now back home, chilling. Julie replied, had a shower, still naked. I do love you still, Julie. We fell out over one of my fairies, but I still love you, always and forever. Don't ever forget that. December 22nd, 2015. Yesterday, I had a lovely afternoon and evening with Jared and Harvey. Jared bought falafels, salad ingredients, and our favourite French cheese. Oh my God! So we had a delicious dinner and then lay in our hammocks with the dogs. Actually, that reminds me, I need to get some new hammock holding thingies, because we might lie in the hammocks again on Boxing Day, and I'm worried that one of us will fall down, the one that hangs on the tree, because I think they're a bit rotten, those hammock holding thingies. I'll have to think about it. I guess Jared can always have the hammock stand and I can just lie on a towel beside him if the other hammock's broken now. It's not the hammock that's broken, it's the hanging part. Harvey got sick but came good later, thankfully. We listened to music on Spotify until 2 a.m, then Jared and Harvey went home. I had lit the flares and candles, so it was a lovely festive summer evening with the lights and the atmosphere. Today I got up at 1. John, that's the crazy Romanian neighbour that used to threaten to rape me, asked me to come over to chat, yelling from his place. I took Bobo over. The crazy old coot was sitting on a stoop in a singlet and jocks. For the love of God. He played with Bobo and chatted merrily for a while, then asked if I was going to root him for Christmas. I mean, I'm smirking, but it's not fucking funny, right? I said, I better go home and sharpen my sticks. He said, I know you are a virgin again. I will catch you one day. I said, I will cut your throat then. Crazy Romanian, romantic babble. He is all talk. I am 97% sure of it. He kept asking me what I'm doing for Christmas. I said, what I do every year, nothing. It's not my religion. I was a very good non-Christian, even going over for a chat. I know how lonely, crazy, horny, inappropriate he gets. He says, the twins are born. What twins? The lambs. You get to look after one. I said he needs lucerne to feed them, as our grass will starve them, as it is not the right grass. He says, okay, I buy lucerne. Bloody idiot. I swear to God. I am not sure how long he's going to keep up this delusion of us joint sharing sheep. I have a weird feeling he is serious. Expect to see a lamb gambling with Bobo in my backyard in 8 weeks' time. I can't say no to baby animals. So mildly depressed from my good deed of the day, I went back home and back to bed and passed out. I woke up at 7, gobbled down leftovers for dinner, now contemplating my full Earth Mother belly and flicking a finger at God for constantly arranging my life to be crazy, even when I am travelling quite well. Ha ha ha. For the love of God. In my hammock with my dog watching Continuum on Netflix. Beautiful night. Happy. December 22nd, 2014. Funny face. I love you, but holy hell, Tanya, you really do look so much more like Gisela every day. It's scary shit. even your nose is growing. Oh, Val, the apple does not fall far from the tree. Let us live in a world of peace, love, unity, goodwill, tolerance, compassion, not just in the silly season, but all year round, for all time, for the rest of our lives. Enough hate and bullshit. Move on, people. 22nd of December 2013. I had a lovely night with my favourite girls. Sarah shouted us all a lovely dinner at a Vietnamese restaurant in Chinatown. Crystal joined with us also. Then she went home while Sarah and the other Sarah and I hit the valley. We started off at the Elephant Arms, then on to the Sabotage Club, which is always a cool place, which I see has gone out of business, must have happened during COVID. So I was very distressed to see it was not there anymore. Not that I've been there for years, but still, had some good times in that club. Then we decided to try out Cloudland, then finished off the night at Calabar. I am happy, but footsore from dancing. 22nd of December 2012. I had a very happy, beautiful day today with Annette, Lynn, little Alia, Tracy and Annette B. I love my girlfriends. You all rock, sisters. 22nd of December 2011. Looking forward to a huge night tomorrow night, then spending the day with Crystal on a road trip to Woodford and beyond. Woohoo! 22nd of December 2009. Boy, was it hot today. Then the lovely subtropical storm broke and cleared the air beautifully. Talia and Gail were visiting and sat out the worst of the storm with me. There was one thunderclap that sounded like the end of the world as we know it. Even my Bella was terrified. Little Talia was shaken but snuggled up with me for comfort. So nice to be seen as the safe person by a small one again. After the storm was over, I went outside to do some weeding and dug a hole to plant a rose bush I'd been meaning to plant out for some time. It was nice to work in soft, moist soil after that lovely rain. I struggled to do the work though. It was very hard to breathe. I guess I am too unfit. I really did enjoy a bit of grounding though. And thus concludes my readings of even date, the 22nd of December 2023. Have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are in the space-time continuum on planet Earth or in the other dimensions or outer vestiges of space. For those of you who are Christian or Christian affiliated, Christian not affiliated, have an affinity for all things in Christendom, enjoy your Christmas. For those of you heathens, enjoy your Saturnalia. And for the rest of us, enjoy another day of your existence on this planet, a celebration of life. L'chaim. Blessed be from Tanya Aarons at Titania's Realm, Sacred Space, Brisbane, Australia. Bye for now.